The parcel arrived at midnight, wrapped in yellowed parchment and sealed with black wax stamped with a raven's claw. Ivy Stone, curator of forgotten histories at Black Hollow's crumbling library, knew better than to trust anonymous gifts. But the journal inside called to her. A primal, itching pull. Its cover, slick and faintly warm, was stitched from flesh, the pores still visible. The pages crackled with static, each entry scrawled in rust-brown ink that smelled of iron and rot. Eleanor Vayne's words were madness carved into paper. A 19th century heiress who'd turned her manor into a laboratory for the occult, she'd become obsessed with soul stitching, trapping fragments of the dying inside objects. A locket containing the final scream of a drowned maid. A music box that played the arrhythmic heartbeat of a consumptive child. Her own rib bones, engraved with the names of those she'd saved. The final entry was a warning. Do not listen to the walls. They learn to speak back. Vayne Manor crouched at the edge of Black Hollow's blighted woods, its spires clawing at a moonless sky. The gate groaned open before Ivy touched it, hinges screaming like a wounded animal. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of funeral lilies and spoiled meat. Eleanor's workshop lay buried in the manor's belly, a hexagonal chamber lined with floor-to-ceiling mirrors, each pane warped and silvered with age. In the center stood a pedestal, cradling a porcelain doll with hollow eyes and a jagged crack splitting its face. Ivy's flashlight glinted off something inside the doll's skull, a tiny, mummified finger curled like a dead spider. At midnight, the temperature plummeted. The mirrors began to breathe, fogging with frost as whispers slithered through the cracks in the walls. Not one voice, but dozens. Children giggling, women weeping, men snarling in languages long extinct. The doll's head creaked toward Ivy, its jaw unhinging with a wet pop. From the void within crawled a viscous black fluid, snaking across the floor toward her boots. Ivy fled, but the manor reshaped itself. Hallways coiled like intestines, doors sealed shut, and the walls bled, thick, tar-like ooze that bubbled with half-formed faces. The whispers sharpened into words. Stay, she's hungry, she's been waiting. In the grand foyer, Ivy found the portraits. Dozens of them, all women, their faces eerily similar to her own. Dates beneath the frames spanned centuries. 1799, 1843, 1927, 2023. The last portrait was blank, the canvas freshly stretched. The doll appeared again, cradled in the arms of a shadow. Not a shadow, a thing, tall and emaciated, its body a living oil spill. It wore Eleanor's face, stretched taut over a skull too angular, lips peeled into a grin of needle-like teeth. You read my story, it hissed, voice a chorus of flies buzzing in rot. Now you'll wear it. The mirrors shattered. Shards sliced Ivy's skin as the shadows surged, corpse-cold fingers forcing her jaw open, dragging her toward the doll. She glimpsed the hollow inside its chest, now gaping like a doorway. Beyond it stretched a labyrinth of mirrors, each reflecting a different version of Ivy. Some eyeless, some limbless, all screaming. When Ivy awoke, dawn bled through the manor's broken windows. Her body felt wrong. Lighter, sharper, her joints bending too fluidly. In the workshop, the doll was gone. The mirrors now held her reflection, but not her. The thing in the glass smiled with Ivy's face, its eyes pools of ink, teeth dripping with that same black fluid. Don't fret, it purred, voice harmonizing with Eleanor's. You'll make a fine vessel. The others barely lasted a decade. The journal lay open, new text crawling across the page like maggots. The archive demands a keeper. Feed its stories, or it feeds on you. Today, Black Hollow's children dare each other to approach Vayne Manor. They swear the lights never die, and a woman's silhouette paces the windows, sometimes slender and sharp, sometimes hunched and clawed. If you press your ear to the gate, you'll hear them. Two voices arguing in the dark. "Let me go," pleads a familiar rasp. "Hush now," croons the other, sweet as poisoned honey. The witching hour needs its archive, and I so love your stories.